Welcome to Morocco. If we had $1 for every time we heard that phrase during our 18-day adventure, we'd probably have enough to fund our next trip. Join us as we take you along on this incredible journey through a country that truly stole our hearts. From the coastal cities of Casablanca and Rabat to the breathtaking landscapes of the Sahara Desert and the Atlas Mountains. We'll lose ourselves in the ancient Medinas of Fez and Marrakesh, marvel at the striking beauty of the blue city of Chefchaouen, and finally unwind in the charming seaside town of Essaouira.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us as we highlight our full itinerary of our 2.5-week adventure around Morocco.
But Morocco is a big place and there's a lot to see and do, so we're Chris and Lydia.
Let's get roving.
Our adventure begins in Casablanca, the main gateway to Morocco and the country's largest city, located on the Atlantic coast. We've arrived at our hotel, the Val d'Anfa Hotel in Casablanca, and it's right by the water.
Welcome to Casablanca. I'll show you around. Let's have a look at the view. We've got an ocean view.
Have we?
There we go. Look at that. Oh, we can see the ocean.
Oh, beautiful. Have the window open, we can hear the ocean. As Morocco's economic and business hub, Casablanca is also its most modern city. Yet it retains historic charm through its old town, known as the Medina, and cultural landmarks like the stunning Hassan II Mosque. All the shop owners are just setting up for the day. We have some spruikers already trying to sell us their wares. A visit to Casablanca would not be complete without a tour of the magnificent Hassan II Mosque, one of the largest and most beautiful mosques in the world. We're in a golf cart at the King Hassan II Mosque. Hassan II Mosque is one of only 2 mosques in Morocco that's open to non-Muslims. Wow, this is amazing. Just look at the size of Lydia compared to the size of this building. And the beautiful ornate ceilings, chandeliers, archways. Wow. This is an immense mosque. This prayer room is 200 metres long, 100 metres wide and 65 metres tall. Look at that cedarwood ceiling. Our visit to Hassan II Mosque was the highlight of our day in Casablanca, and we ended the evening with the first of many amazing Moroccan sunsets.
Good morning everyone. We're here in Casablanca. It's our final day in Casablanca this morning and we're about to set off on our trips. We're going to have some breakfast. Had an amazing orange juice yesterday. It's the best orange juice I've ever had in my life, so I was dreaming about orange juice last time.
After breakfast, we joined the other 12 Aussies on our 17-day small group tour of Morocco. Even though the group was small, we were lucky enough to have a full-sized bus, which meant plenty of space for everyone and a seat to ourselves. From Casablanca, we head north along the coast for about an hour to Morocco's capital city, Rabat. Rabat's ancient fortress, the Kasbah of Udayas, dates back to the 12th century and is the oldest part of the city. We're standing in front of the main gate of the Kasbah here in Rabat.
We're about to rock the Kasbah.
Rock the Kasbah, rock the Kasbah. The Kasbah was built high on the hill to guard the mouth of the river and the city below, and the terrace offers great views of the city of Saleh to the north, and the ramparts, the beach, and the Atlantic Ocean to the west. Only a mile upriver from the Kasbah lies the iconic Hassan Tower, the minaret of an unfinished mosque from the 12th century. Had the mosque been completed, it would have been the largest in the Western world at the time. Across the square from Hassan Tower is the mausoleum of Mohammed V, the first king of independent Morocco and grandfather of the current king. The mausoleum is the final resting place for King Mohammed V, as well as his two sons.
Hi guys, sorry to interrupt. If you like what you're watching, we'll really appreciate if you could subscribe to our channel and leave a comment and let us know if you've been to Morocco and what you enjoyed about your travels there. Anyway, back to the video.
After a busy morning exploring Rabat, we hit the road once again for a 250-kilometre journey north into the Rif mountain range. Destination, the stunning city of Chefchaouen. Welcome to Chefchaouen, the Blue City. When we reached our accommodation, we stepped through a gate in the wall and were instantly rendered speechless. The beautiful courtyard and traditional Moroccan architecture just blew us away. The rooms were just as impressive, adorned with Moroccan decor and colourful lanterns. And to top it all off, the riad even had a pool with fantastic views across the blue city. You've got tears in your eyes.
It's just so beautiful.
Oh.
Incredible.
Come here, honey. It's lovely. It is.
This is what we come for.
Yeah. Chefchaouen is a charming town, famous for its blue-washed buildings and winding alleyways, earning it the nickname the Blue City. The town is best explored early in the morning before the day trippers arrive and the streets begin to fill. Some say the blue symbolises the sky and heaven, a tradition started by Jewish refugees, while others believe it helps keep the town cool or even deters mosquitoes. Whatever the historical reason, these days they continue to paint the town blue to keep the tourists coming. If you visit, make sure your camera is fully charged and bring a good pair of walking shoes. This magical town is a photographer's dream. Perched high on the hill overlooking Chefchaouen is the Spanish Mosque. Just walking along the track high above the town of Chefchaouen up to the Spanish monastery, which has great views of the sunset from over the town and the mountains beyond. The next morning we reluctantly said goodbye to Chefchaouen and began our journey back down through the scenic Rif mountain range, descending to the fertile plains below, en route to Fez. We've come to the old Roman ruins of Volubilis on the fertile plains near Meknes in northern Morocco. The Romans were very smart in where they built this remote centre for the Roman Empire. It's very fertile lands around here, farming lands. I think they made their money growing olives.
Roman ruins in Morocco. I wasn't expecting to see that.
After spending 2 hours exploring Volubilis, we hopped back on our bus for a short 30-kilometre drive to Meknes. Meknes is one of Morocco's 4 imperial cities that have one time or other been the historical capital of Morocco, the other 3 being the current capital of Rabat, as well as Fez and Marrakesh. We're in Meknes now, and we're going to go have lunch, and I think I'll have the camel burger. I've never tried camel before. Alright, here we go.
Give us a
Here's the
verdict.
camel burger.
Thank you. Good. What's it taste like?
It's like a lamb, I guess, lamb mince.
More lamb than beef.
It's spice, it's got lots of spices in it, so but it's very tasty. I really like it. Yeah.
After our walk through the royal quarter of Meknes, it was getting late in the day and we still had an hour left to drive until we reached Fez. We arrived as the sun was setting and checked into our riad accommodation on the edge of the old Medina. Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. This is
Wow.
beautiful. Look at the bed. It's a 4-posted bed.
And this is the proper riad because, let's have a look. Here's the courtyard down below. A riad is a traditional Moroccan house with an internal garden or courtyard surrounded by bedrooms. Riads are typically inward facing, with few or no windows facing the street. Instead, they feature beautifully decorated interiors, offering a peaceful escape from the lively chaos of the Medina. But it's the Medina that's brought us to Fez, and we can't wait to explore it. Hopefully we won't get lost in the Medina of Fez. Apparently there's 9,000 little alleyways and streets. So we've got 2 days to find our way home. Fez is Morocco's oldest imperial city and is often considered the country's cultural and spiritual heart. Founded in the 8th century, it's home to one of the world's oldest universities and a sprawling UNESCO World Heritage listed Medina.
It's a school of theology. Yeah, and it only took 2 years to build, and it would house 37 students who were studying theology.
Fez is renowned for its skilled craftsmen who have been perfecting their trades for generations.
No, it's 100.
100? I give you 20.
No problem. Okay.
We're at the tannery. I can smell it. It's not a nice smell.
Yeah.
Go and get a massage.
We've just come back from a lovely evening with a local family in Fez.
Oh, they're beautiful. Mama had 8 children and the youngest boy was still in the house to help entertain us, and they opened their home up to our group and cooked us a 3-course meal.
We started off with harara, which was a nice soup with some dates and some sweet treats. For the main course we had pastilla,
Phyllo pastry with chicken inside and lots of cinnamon, both inside and outside, and nuts and whatnot. It was
Icing sugar on the
beautiful.
top.
Oh,
So it was a wonderful night,
it was
great
a lovely
opportunity,
night.
and
The
the
Mor-
people here are just
the Moroccan people are
so
amazing.
welcoming and just beautiful and friendly, and they'll come up and say, "Welcome to my country," and it's just like, oh, that's so beautiful.
The next day, we left Fez and began our journey through the Atlas mountain range towards the Sahara Desert. Our route first took us over the Middle Atlas Mountains to Medelt, the apple capital of Morocco. As we crossed the Middle Atlas, we passed through forests of towering cedar trees. In the higher slopes, we encountered a tribe of endangered Barbary macaque monkeys up close, along with some other surprising wildlife. After crossing the highest peaks of the Middle Atlas Mountains, the landscape transforms. But it's not just the scenery that changes. As we travel further, the appearance of Berber camps signals a cultural shift from the European-influenced north to the traditional nomadic south. After checking in to our villa accommodation in Medelt, we set out for a late afternoon hike in what seemed like the middle of nowhere. As we walked, an incredible gorge suddenly revealed itself before us, appearing as if out of nowhere. The next day, we were up early, eager for a scenic drive across the high Atlas Mountains. The journey took us through breathtaking mountain passes, following the Ziz River as it carved its way through dramatic gorges and lush oases filled with date palms, finally arriving in Mizouga, right on the doorstep of the Sahara Desert. Wow, look at that. The breathtaking Tizian Talahom mountain pass is an ancient caravan route through the high Atlas Mountains. It was once used by traders travelling from Fez to the Sahara Desert and onward to Timbuktu in Mali. The Ziz River is the lifeblood of the towns south of the high Atlas Mountains. It flows through the valley, nourishing a lush oasis of date palms, orchards and crops. Late in the afternoon, we arrived at our hotel in Mizouga. Tired and hot from a long day on the road, we were glad to unwind by the pool and soak in the stunning views of the sand dunes from the hotel's rooftop terrace. This morning we're heading off on a four-wheel drive safari into the Sahara Desert. It's a beautiful warm 33 degrees, so plenty of sun cream on this morning. First stop was just down the street at the Mizouga Oasis. The oasis is a patchwork of individual plots, each one belonging to a local family. These small sections are carefully cultivated with date palms and crops, irrigated by underground springs. the edge of a Bedouin camp on the edge of the Sahara to see how the nomadic people of the area live. They're cooking some bread on a fireplace in a little tent and doing some weaving. It's very humbling to see how the locals here live. Our final stop on the 4x4 tour was the village of Familie, where we enjoyed delicious Berber pizza and were treated to the hypnotic rhythms of traditional Gnawa music. Later in the afternoon, we traded our 4x4s for a more traditional mode of transport, camels, as we journeyed into the desert for a night at a luxury desert camp nestled amongst the dunes. We're a long way up here on the camel's back. And we're down. Oh, just like an expert. Shukran.
Voila.
Wow.
This is how you camp.
Our tent was more luxury than camp, complete with comfy beds, running water and a gourmet dinner. After the meal, we gathered around the campfire for an evening filled with music and dance under the starry desert sky. Good morning, Mr. Camel. The next morning, we watched the sunrise alongside our camel friends before saddling up once more for the trek back to civilization. Today, we hit the road once again, heading northwest to the foothills of the High Atlas Mountains to explore the spectacular gorges of Todra and Dades. As we drove along the barren plain between the High Atlas and the Anti-Atlas Mountains, I was struck by how dry and seemingly inhospitable the land was. And then, all of a sudden, we reached the Todra River and the ancient town of Tingir. Tingir is like a green jewel in the desert. It's amazing how in the midst of such an arid landscape, life can suddenly flourish. Just beyond Tingir lies one of Morocco's most breathtaking natural wonders, the Todra Gorge.
Welcome to Todra Gorge. This is absolutely magnificent. Check out the scale of this place. It's incredible. You definitely have to put this on your list if you're coming to Morocco. It's pretty special.
Well, we've reached the end of the gorge. At least our little track. It was just the road basically walking along the river, but it was very picturesque. After another hour's drive, we entered the Dades Valley. The road ahead twists and turns, winding its way through the valley. Below, the Dades River flows gently, bringing life to the fertile farm plots that line the valley below. It's slow progress as we navigate the winding roads, but as the sun sets, we finally arrive at our accommodation for the night, the beautiful Riyadh Paradise Dades. The next morning we joined a guide for a scenic walk through the lush green oasis blanketing the valley floor. Later, we hopped on a local bus, gripping tightly as it climbed the hairpin turns up the cliff wall, rewarding us with a breathtaking view of the gorge from above. Well, that was a hairy ride up the mountain, wasn't it?
Came up those roads. Yeah. Glad we didn't come up in the big bus.
Yes.
Been even more hairy.
Yeah, there's a little bus, a little green bus, local bus over there. The ride down was just as nail-biting, but soon we were back on the road of 1,000 Kasbahs. Next stop, the ancient Khazar of Ait Ben Hadu. This is Ait Ben Hadu, the scene of many a Hollywood movie, and you can see why. Just look at this. Ait Ben Hadu is an ancient fortified village, or Khazar, along the old caravan route between the Sahara Desert and Marrakesh. Believed to have been built in the 17th century, it served as an important trading post for goods like salt, gold and spices. It's one of the best preserved mud brick Khazars in all of Morocco and is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Earlier in the afternoon, we had checked into one of the most unique and memorable accommodations of our trip, an old restored Kasbah nearby Ait Ben Hadu. Our apartment even had its own rooftop terrace, offering stunning views of the Kasbah and the surrounding oasis. In the morning, we savoured a special sunrise from our private terrace before bidding farewell to the desert and setting off for another of Morocco's legendary imperial cities, Marrakesh. Our journey to Marrakesh took us back across the high Atlas Mountains via the famous Tizi and Tichka Pass. Once one of Morocco's most treacherous roads, recent upgrades have significantly improved its safety. Still, as the clouds gathered on the higher slopes, the route promised to be another thrilling journey.
What happened to the sunshine? It's freezing.
It is pretty cold. The views of the hairpin turns and switchbacks were stunning, even shrouded in mist. However, the moisture in the air added an extra layer of tension, not just for the slippery roads, but also due to the increased risk of rock falls. But soon enough, the terrain levelled out, the sun broke through the clouds, and the iconic red walls of Marrakesh came into view. After settling into our traditional riad in the heart of the old Medina, we ventured out into the winding alleys leading to Jamar el-Fnar, the bustling main square of Marrakesh. Historically a marketplace and gathering point for locals, these days the square is filled with street performers, snake charmers, food stalls and crowds of people, especially in the evenings. Welcome to the chaos of the main square, Jamar el-Fnar. As the sun began to fall, we found a peaceful rooftop bar with views over both the square and another beautiful Moroccan sunset. It's morning time, 9 o'clock in the morning here in the main square in Marrakesh. First stop of the day, we're going to go to the palace before it gets too busy there. Bahia Palace was once the residence of a powerful Grand Vizier of Morocco, who effectively governed the country during the late 19th century. This opulent palace was also home to his 4 wives and 24 concubines. We're back out of the palace now, and we're just walking through some of the alleyways, watching out for the motorbikes as we go. So we're going to visit an old Quranic school. The Ben Yusuf Madrasa is a stunning 14th century Islamic school and was once the largest madrasa in Morocco. It's similar to the one we saw in Fez, only much larger. The Medina of Marrakesh is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and a maze of narrow alleyways bursting with life, history and colour. At its heart are the bustling marketplaces, or souks, where artisans and merchants sell everything from leather goods to spices and traditional lanterns. Wandering through the Medina is an unforgettable sensory experience, with the scent of spices, the bright colours of wares, and the sounds of haggling filling the air. This is the Koutoubia Mosque in Marrakesh. It's a local landmark. It's one of the largest mosques in the country, so if you ever get lost, you can always look up and find your way back here. At night, Jamar Elfnar transforms into a magical, chaotic spectacle of light, sound and activity. It's an experience that can't be missed. The next morning, we left the hustle and bustle of Marrakesh, trading the organised chaos of the city for the cool sea breezes and laid-back vibe of the seaside town of Essaouira. Essaouira attracts both locals and international visitors with its stunning beaches, relaxed Medina and unique argan tree forests, where goats famously climb trees. While we didn't catch any goats in the act during our visit, they certainly seem to be contemplating it. Essaouira is a photographer's dream, with its picturesque fortified walls, historic ramparts, and iconic blue fishing boats attracting both amateur photographers and Hollywood filmmakers. The town is also famous for its bustling fishing harbour, where the catch of the day is unloaded each morning. Visitors can sample fresh oysters, crab and sea urchin from street vendors, or buy seafood straight off the trawlers and have it grilled to perfection on the spot at the harbour's open-air barbecues. Essaouira is a cultural hub where live music fills the bars and restaurants each night. The town has a strong connection to traditional Ganawa music, with its deep rhythms and spiritual roots playing a central role in Essaouira's music scene. After a busy 2.5-week journey through Morocco, Essaouira was the perfect place to relax, unwind and let our hair down. The next day, we made our way back up the coast to Casablanca, where our incredible Moroccan adventure sadly came to an end. The trip seemed to pass by in a blink of an eye, yet we experienced so much of this beautiful country. We've truly fallen in love with Morocco, especially its people. Their warmth, generosity and strong sense of community are refreshing and inspiring. Morocco has stolen our hearts, and we know we'll return one day. Thanks for joining us today for the highlights of our incredible trip around Morocco.
So we have some more detailed videos of our trip around Morocco.
Yeah, videos in each of the different places, and so please go and check out our playlist on Morocco.
And if you like what you see, we'd really appreciate if you could subscribe and leave us a message and tell us what you liked about our travels.
And where in the world you're watching from.
And we hope you come roving with us again soon.
Bye for now.